What's up, guys? My name is Jake. Welcome to Cancelled, Episode 5. This is the show where we look into everything and anything that was eventually cancelled. Universal Studios has 4 theme park resorts operating in 3 countries, with another one on the way in Beijing. Hollywood is where it all started, Orlando continues to be the flagship resort, Japan's is the 4th most visited theme park in the world, and Singapore's has been Universal's most recent. But there was a time when the company was planning on building a theme park out in the deserts of Dubai. A project that had its preliminary construction started, a preview center already built, and an opening date of 2010. This was the inevitably cancelled Universal Studios Dubailand. So Dubai in the United Arab Emirates is in a constant state of immense development. Tons of extremely ambitious projects are proposed every year, and some are even fulfilled. But there was one very ambitious and truly enormous project that was being proposed by investment company Dubai Holdings. The project was called Dubailand and would span 68,000 acres. The quote, tourism, entertainment, and leisure destination would include 45 megaprojects and 200 sub-projects. All of this added up to an incredible $60 billion and the attraction of 15 million tourists by 2010. Since a large focus was on theme parks, Dubailand approached many companies to build within their development areas. One of these companies interested in resort expansion was Universal Parks & Resorts. Tatweer, a subsidiary of Dubai Holdings, had formed a deal with Universal to create a theme park in Dubailand. And on April 30th, 2007, Universal officially announced that they would be building a Universal Studios resort in Dubai and would open in 2010. In the announcement, Thomas Williams, Universal Parks & Resorts CEO, said in the press release, quote, "The vision of the leadership of Dubai, the investors' supportive environment, and the convenient geographic location of Dubailand, combined with other strategic and iconic offerings, all contribute in making Dubai our location of choice for our first branded theme park in the region."
Universal Studios Dubailand. The world's most exciting experience comes to the most exciting place on the planet.
The $1.2 billion 160-acre park was sort of a mixture between the studios and Islands of Adventure in Orlando. Even though, from what I can tell, it went through 2 major design iterations, the core of the park would have had 5 themed lands. First being Hollywoodland, a heavily themed street comprised of small shops, restaurants, and Mel's Diner, similar to the one in Florida. New York Lane would feature a heavily themed street-like set that would host the stage for the Blues Brothers show, and in the Broadway Rose Theater would be a live production called Hooray for Bollywood. Down the path would be Surf City, a kid-friendly area that would feature Woody Woodpecker's Nut House Coaster and attractions from Sesame Street. Much like Islands of Adventure's Lost Continent area, the land of legendary heroes would be home to the Mummy indoor coaster, as well as a Sinbad attraction, and an outdoor splash pad. Finally, there's Epic Adventures, home to franchises like King Kong, Jurassic Park, and Waterworld. Kong would have its own dueling roller coaster attraction, which is very reminiscent to the former Dueling Dragons coaster in Florida. Jurassic Park had the River Adventure ride, and Waterworld would have its own stunt show. All 5 of these lands would border the centralized lake in the middle of the park, as the entire thing would be designed in a circular shape. Universal also left plenty of room for expansion in between some of the lands and attractions. The concept art also showed some rides that never received official announcements, like the blacked out Hulk coaster clone that jetted out into the lake, and later a Ghostbusters ride that was likely to be placed in the New York section. Universal Studios Dubailand would have also featured their very own version of City Walk, and several, quote, magnificently themed 4-star and 5-star world-class hotels. Groundbreaking began on July 27, 2008, and Universal began setting up their offices, including a preview center on the land. Inside would feature all types of concept art as well as the park's model. The iconic massive archway mimicking the ones found at the entrance to each park was constructed outside the preview center. Construction began with creating a perimeter hill surrounding the park and digging out the centralized lake that the park would be built around. A single tower crane was set up and landscaping work began on the perimeter hill. This seems to have been halted in early 2009 though, when Universal announced that they would be postponing the opening date another 2 years for 2012. No reason was ever given as to why construction slowed and the opening date was being pushed. It was reported that more than 50 people working on Universal Studios Dubailand had been laid off. By August of 2009, Tatweer announced that the park was still in development and was just waiting for the right time to continue construction. However, that day never came. As 2010 rolled into 2011, the site continued to see no changes. In July of 2013, Dubai Holdings did publicly say that they are still in talks with Universal and working on making the theme park a reality. However, a month later, it seemed that any hope of Universal Studios being built was gone. The preview center and Universal's offices had been completely demolished. It wasn't until October of 2016 when Universal officially announced that the park had been cancelled. So how did all of this happen? Why did progress just suddenly stop? Universal was keen on expanding, and the master plan that was Dubailand, with all of its potential, did sound promising in theory. When Universal ultimately decided to greenlight the project in 2007, they had no idea on the impending economic disaster. As 2008 came through, the global financial crisis took its toll not only on American companies, but global tourism. Universal barely had any construction done on the project, just some general groundwork, so postponing the project until things got better was just a smart decision. If income is slowing down substantially and the future unknown, why continue to pour money into a theme park that doesn't really need to be built right now? So that's likely what they did. They just pushed the opening date another 2 years. A little later on, the developer partnered with Universal had been completely dissolved back into Dubai Holdings. And with no real direction, this is likely what killed off any hope of the project moving forward. In 2012, there were some rumors and some announcements claiming that Universal was instead just going to focus on hotels and some entertainment facilities, which ultimately led nowhere. Today, all that remains is what could have been. The site right now is almost entirely how it was left when construction was halted in 2008. The enormous perimeter hill, along with the dredged out center lake, still remains. Some unknown rockwork and a tiny bit of landscaping also reside where the park was being built. The roads and the parking lot for the preview center also still stand. Really, all of Dubailand was a complete failure. Phase 1 of the colossal project was supposed to be completed by 2010, and the entire thing done by 2018. Clearly that didn't happen. Other theme parks like Legoland and Six Flags were also supposed to be built as a part of this master plan, but also ended up being cancelled. Universal must have poured $5 or $10 million, if not more, into the planning, designing, and little construction of this theme park. It's so weird to see an entertainment company completely abandon a project after being so far along with it. I mean, blueprints were drawn, models were made, and even a preview center was built. They were very confident with this park. However, it was just caught at the wrong time and wouldn't have been a smart investment for the company. Now, that's not to say Universal won't ever build in Dubai. I mean, who knows, they might even utilize that site. But it likely won't be for a while, especially until their new park is up and running. But today, that blank, iconic Universal Studios arch still stands in the desert as a chilling reminder of the promising, cancelled project. Anyway guys, my name is Jake, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat, and thank you very much for watching.
Give it up, it's gonna be alright. Gonna be alright.